This bird's head is like a living mood ring. It can change from red to white to blue in a matter of seconds, depending on how it feels. And that's not even its weirdest or most surprising secret. Hey everyone! When we think of turkeys, most of us picture the big bird on the Thanksgiving table. But that farm-raised bird is a world away from its wild cousin. The wild turkey is a smart, tough, and surprisingly colorful survivor with an incredible story. I'm going to show you the secret behind its color-changing head, bust one of the biggest myths about America's founding fathers, and tell you the amazing story of how this bird came back from the dead. First, let's get the big difference straight. The domestic turkey you eat has been bred to get huge and stay put. Wild turkeys are leaner, have darker, often shiny feathers, and they are surprisingly good flyers. They can burst off the ground and fly at speeds up to 55 miles per hour for short distances, and they sleep high up in trees at night to stay safe. Now, about that weird-looking head. A male turkey, called a tom or gobbler, has a featherless head and neck covered in bumpy bits called caruncles, a dangly flap under the chin called a wattle, and that floppy thing over the beak called a snood. All this bare skin is packed with blood vessels, and the turkey can change its color instantly by controlling the blood flow. When he's calm, his head might be pale blue or white. When he's excited or showing off for females, it turns bright blue and white. And if he gets angry or scared, it flushes a brilliant red. It's like a built-in mood indicator. So it's a pretty cool bird. But why do people keep saying that Benjamin Franklin wanted this guy to be the national bird instead of the bald eagle? Well, that's one of the most famous myths in American history, and it's totally busted. Ben Franklin never, ever officially proposed the turkey as the national bird. Here's the real story. After the bald eagle had already been chosen for the Great Seal, Franklin wrote a letter to his daughter complaining about it. He called the eagle lazy and a thief. Then, maybe just joking around, he said the turkey was more respectable and a true native of America. It was just him grumbling in a private letter, not a serious suggestion. But the story somehow took off. But maybe the real reason the turkey is a great symbol for America is its incredible comeback story. Back in the early 1900s, the wild turkey was almost gone. Overhunting and cutting down forests had wiped them out from most of the country. We went from possibly 10 million wild turkeys down to only about 30,000. They were facing extinction. But then, starting around the 1940s, one of the biggest conservation efforts ever began. Wildlife agencies and hunters worked together for decades, trapping wild turkeys where they still survived and carefully moving them back to areas where they had disappeared. And it worked incredibly well. Today, there are almost 7 million wild turkeys roaming North America again. It is truly one of the greatest wildlife success stories ever. So, the wild turkey is way more interesting than you thought. They fly fast, their heads change color with their mood, and Ben Franklin did not want them as the national bird. And most importantly, they made an amazing comeback from the very brink of extinction, making them a true symbol of resilience. If you want the true stories behind more amazing American wildlife, subscribe.